How I find AI faceless niches in 10 minutes. And guys, today I'm going to be going through the exact strategy that I personally use to find, identify, and execute on faceless AI YouTube niches. Now, first of all, guys, if you want to join my public Discord server, that's discord.gg/1%. Honestly, it's just a super cool networking environment, and I share these niches every single day for completely free. And again, guys, as per usual, this is not financial advice. It's simply me giving my own opinion on the current state of YouTube and what's worked for me. Now, first things first, how do I actually go about finding faceless YouTube niches? Now, there's a few ways to do this, and I've honestly found my own little kind of tips and tricks that work for me and what I think not enough people are actually talking about. So first things first, I'm going to show you the first method that I use, and that is called the X method. Now, as much as I get a bunch of hate for kind of showing this, I'm going to walk you through exactly how it works. You literally can look up YouTube niche on Twitter, and you'll see a ton of people talking about faceless YouTube niches. Now, yes, a lot of the time they're going to have an insane amount of views, and if they do, chances are it's not a great niche because the majority of those big guys get too many impressions and it becomes too saturated. But if we go ahead and filter this by latest, you will actually see a ton of hidden gems by just scrolling for a few minutes. Like, look at this one here. Great content deserves great growth. The Painful Historian. He only got 224 impressions. Then that's literally just people scrolling. 0 likes. So chances are nobody's ever used this niche before. So we can of course head over to YouTube and look up the Painful Historian. Now again, guys, I'm also going to be showing you a ton more different strategies that I personally use to find niches. But again, look at this. Just like that, we found an insane niche that seems to be blowing up right now. And again, only started 3 months ago. And keep in mind, guys, they've got 231,000 views in the last 7 days. So monthly, they're looking at about 1 million views a month. Now on this type of content, you're probably looking at about a $4 to $5 RPM. So this one channel that we just found is doing $5,000 a month. That's of course the X method. You can literally scroll for a few minutes, maybe even 10 minutes, and build up a document list of a ton of untapped YouTube niches. Now, the next kind of strategy that I like to use is the SEO method. This is something that takes a little bit more experience. Now, SEO obviously means search engine optimization, and this only works for a subset of YouTube niches. Now, let's say, for example, you were looking at a channel like this, Stories of Sleep. This is actually one of my friend's channels. It makes about $2,000 to $4,000 a month. Now, as you guys can see in their titles, they do stuff like the entire lore of, and then Hollow Knight to fall asleep to. Now, let's say you were looking for another ultra long form niche that talks about lore-based videos to fall asleep to. You could use YouTube SEO and look up lore to fall asleep to, essentially a keyword, and then use that to narrow down and find new niches. And obviously, you don't want to just go with the niches up here. You want to go ahead and press filter and filter it by this week. Now, what this is going to do is actually show you a ton of YouTube niches in this exact same format and SEO based that are pulling in great views, like this one, Fallout Lore, the complete Ciara and Marjorie story to fall asleep to, game lore for sleep, fall asleep to the calming lore of Red Dead Redemption, 2 hours of South Park lore to fall asleep to, but it's life-changing lessons. Again, these are all brand new niches. This channel is brand new. Just started 17 videos ago, and they're pulling in an insane amount of views in the ultra long form space. Heck, they're not even monetized yet. You can get onto this niche before they get monetized. Game Lore for Sleep. This is yet another channel pulling in 22,000 views a month in the ultra long form space. Arcto, another one talking about Clash of Clans lore videos to fall asleep to. So there's so many strategies and channels you can actually find using the SEO method. And again, this works for regular long form too. Like, let's say, for example, you were looking at this long form channel here, Why It Sucks to Be Born As. Now, these guys bound, they essentially do like Why It Sucks to Be Born as a manta ray, as a polar bear, all these real animals. But there's other channels in this same niche that do like Why It Sucks to Be Born as a medieval wizard. So what we could actually do is look up, for example, Why It Sucks to Be Born As. Once again, go ahead and filter this by the last week, and you'll see a ton of different channels like this one. Why It Sucks to Be Born a Spartan. Why It Sucks to Be Born as a Remora fish, suckerfish. Why It Sucks to Be Born as Spider-Man's girlfriend. So as you can see, you can utilize the SEO method in so many different niches. Next up, and this is probably my favorite method, it is called the incognito method. Now, very, very simple. All you have to do is go on a brand new Google Chrome browser and you want to head over to YouTube. Now, once you're on YouTube, you essentially want to find somewhat of you want to have a decent idea on the niche that you want to start. So for example, let's say I really like lore videos to fall asleep to in the ultra long form space. I would essentially look up lore to fall asleep to and just find a ton of videos in the same niche that I'm looking to start. And all you're going to do is open up a ton of these. I'm thinking about 5 to 10. Now, what you want to do is you want to quickly go on the videos and literally just watch them and skim through for about 1 to 2 minutes on each one. Now, I'm going to quickly do this and show you what happens. So as you can see, I'm simply scrolling through the videos, and then I can go to the next one and do the entire process again. And there we go. I've gone ahead and done it on all 6 videos. And now if I head over to my YouTube homepage, and make sure you don't tab out, because I've been kind of watching ultra long form videos, you're going to notice that my entire homepage is ultra long form now. Every Fallout Vault explained ranked from least to most insane 2 hours long. Ultimate World War II iceberg explained 2.5 hours long. And again, we can continue scrolling and you're going to notice all the videos are insanely long now because we've trained our algorithm to show us content like that. Like look at this, the obscure lore of Adventure Time, 2 million views. This one video probably has about a $20 RPM. So this video made about $40,000. And again, you can keep scrolling and you're going to see the majority of these are going to be ultra long form. The Unknown 2 hours of disturbing Star Wars lore, and literally all of them are ultra long form videos. Fall asleep to the entire story of Atlantis. And again, you can train your feed to be even better than this. You simply watch the videos you like and continue training it until you have a perfectly trained incognito browser. And again, look what we just found by doing this. Dust and Glory, fall asleep to the entire history of the Arisian Kingdom, fall asleep to the entire history of the Sumerian city-states, another ultra long form channel that's pulling in an insane amount of views, probably making close to 10K a month. Look at this channel, Connor's Curiosities, 8 hours of alternate histories to fall asleep to, the complete World War I iceberg, all about 3-hour long, ultra long form videos. And again, you can train this in whatever niche you're doing. I only did ultra long form. Let's say you want to do informative. Let's say you want to do celebrity gossip. You can train your model to literally give you the exact niche that you're looking for and show you untapped channels. And the best part about the incognito method is you're not relying on somebody else to show you the niches like you are with SEO or X. It's essentially YouTube showing you niches that you might like. Now, what do I actually look for in the channels themselves when I'm actually searching for them and finding them? Now, the first thing is, of course, whether or not the channel I found is evergreen. Like, let's say, for example, I was going to use the SEO method. I'm going to go ahead and do fall asleep to lore, and I'm going to filter it by this week, and let's see if I can find a decent looking niche. So I've found one doing this exact method, Force Lore. This guy posts ultra long form videos on Star Wars facts, like the entire history, on the entire story of Darth Tratus, all these other Star Wars kind of characters and talking about their life story. Now, first things first, we want to look to see whether or not this niche is evergreen. Evergreen meaning the videos are going to be relevant 5 years from now. So one of the ways we can do this is looking up Google search terms. We're going to go on Google Trends and we're going to look up the word Star Wars. And what we want to see is whether or not it's like an up graph or if it's been stable for the last couple years. And again, here we go. Let's go ahead and filter it by the last kind of 20 years. And you'll see it's stayed on a pretty good trajectory over the last decade, meaning that chances are this niche is quite evergreen. Now, there's a few other strategies I like to personally use to see if a niche is evergreen. Now, one of the ways is we can actually look up Star Wars or whatever niche you might be doing, and you want to find the biggest person in that space. Like, for example, this guy here, Star Wars Theory. Now, if you guys don't really know, evergreen means is a video going to be relevant 5 years down the line. Now, this is one of the biggest Star Wars channels, so what we're going to do is grab their handle and head over to View Stats. We're going to paste their URL into View Stats, and we're going to see which videos are contributing to their most views over the last 24 hours. Now, bear with me. I know this might sound a little bit confusing, but there's a reason for this. So here we go. We can see what videos are contributing to their view count. And as you can see, this is a great sign. A lot of the biggest videos, or a lot of the videos giving them the most views over the last 24 hours, are videos that are 5 years old, 7 years old, 3 years old, even 1 year old. And even here, look at this, 6 years old. So what this means is that videos that were posted literally 5 or even 6 years ago in this specific niche and in this channel are still relevant and still getting views, meaning it's a super good indication that this specific niche is evergreen and has longevity. And that funnels in once again to the next thing, which is of course proof of concept and longevity, making sure the niche that you're essentially looking into is relevant and isn't relying on a specific trend. Now, an example of a channel that relies on trends would be Stranger Things lore to fall asleep to. This channel is making like 30 grand a month, hushed theories, and they're essentially posting like Stranger Things lore to fall asleep to. Now, obviously Stranger Things just had its new season released. That's a pretty good indication that you shouldn't really get into a niche like this because it relies on a trend, aka Stranger Things releasing new seasons all the time. But of course, with Star Wars, it already has that big fan base, so you're not relying on that. And that's of course one of the core elements I look for when actually finding a niche. Now, next thing, and this is arguably the most important part, is figuring out the jobs required. So that would be script writing, voice acting, thumbnail design, video ideation, and of course editing. So for example, let's say we wanted to once again go with that channel we just found before, Force Lore. First things first, we need to kind of figure out what is needed for us to execute on this specific niche. Now, again, if you want to generate ultra long form videos, I have my own software, Produce.so, where you can quite literally generate ultra long form videos in like 20 minutes, the visuals, the subtitles, the music, everything. But if you don't want to go with that, let me walk you through this. So first things first, thumbnail creation. So we know we're going to need this. This is a must-have for all niches. Next thing is, of course, script writing. We once again know that we need this. Video ideation, that's going to be coming up with the ideas themselves. and of course, voice acting. That's going to be the actual voiceover on the video itself. And then lastly, editing. Now, there are some situations where voice acting isn't needed, and that's if you're doing a lo-fi channel. And for example, that would be something like this channel here. I must rest here a moment, soldier. Rest here, the rain will clear your mind. In these niches, you don't need voiceovers. So for thumbnail creation, very, very simple. Head over to vidIQ. If you want to use my promo code, I actually can give you guys a free month for $1. You literally use vidiq.com/Blake. As you can see, I have a private partnership with vidIQ, and you can literally get the $50 a month plan for $1. Go ahead and check that out. But let me show you how insane this tool is. So for example, let's say we're copying this channel here. We're simply going to grab the URL. We're going to paste it into vidIQ as a reference, paste that in, press continue. And all we're going to say is copy this thumbnail style one for one, but for the Star Wars idea, the entire story of Darth Vader, keep it in the same style, optimize it for CTR, aka click-through rate. Now, by doing this, vidIQ is actually going to extract the thumbnail and replicate it. And this is by far the craziest YouTube tool I've ever seen for thumbnail design. And again, you can get it for $1 using my code. Now, in terms of script writing, while we wait for these to get made, you of course want to be using ChatGPT, Produce.so, or Gemini. Now, these are arguably the best. If you're doing ultra long form, you want to make sure you're using deep research to do your scripts. Video ideation, once again, you can use ChatGPT, give it a screenshot of the channel you're trying to copy, and say, give me more video ideas in this same niche. Voice acting, you don't really want to use 11 Labs just because of how expensive it is. You can use Gen AI Pro or Outgrow.online. These are both really good options, and they're insanely cheap, and once again, not sponsored. Guys, look at the thumbnails that it just made me then in this exact same style of thumbnail. Look at this. The entire story of Darth Vader. And again, you can make changes. So all I'm going to say is the character isn't Darth Vader, fix it, and it will literally do it for you. So that kind of handles thumbnail creation. Now, the final thing is, of course, editing. Now, once again, I would recommend using Produce.so if you're using an ultra long form channel. But again, editing in any niche, you can literally go on Upwork, Fiverr, Discord servers, and just hire an editor, pay them $30 video or whatever the price might be for that specific niche, and automate every other process inside of here. Yes, guys, again, if you want to go ahead and check out vidIQ, use my promo code vidiq.com/Blake. You'll get the $50 a month plan for $1 for your first month. And of course, if you want to go ahead and join my public Discord server, that's discord.gg/1%. Again, super cool networking environment. I hope you guys learn exactly how I find viral AI YouTube niches. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.